So the first couple of questions here, they say to graph, solve by graphing. Whenever you graph, you generally want to solve for y. Okay, so like this first equation here, 2x minus y equals 1. It is not solved for y. So to solve for y, you're going to subtract 2x from both sides of the equation. Okay, and you do want to write this down. This is part of how you show your work for this problem. That's why there's some space there on your worksheet to be able to include this. So when you subtract, you get minus y equals minus 2x plus 1. But we have not solved for y. Like y is kind of by itself, but it's got a -1 in front of it, if you see that there. So we can undo it by dividing by -1. So you end up getting y equals, and then you change the sign of each of these. So it's 2x minus 1.
Okay.
So that's key. You got to be able to solve for y. That's a skill you learned earlier in this course. Something you're probably pretty good at.
I saw this. I saw this before this week in math. So yeah.
Great. So when you're looking at this equation here, to graph this equation, you need the slope and the y-intercept. The slope is the number in front of x, which is 2, and the b value is the other number, which is -1.
Okay. So let me write that down.
Yep. Let me know when you get that down.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so the way you graph this is you actually start with the b value. You go down to -1. Okay, this is -1 on the graph over. You put a dot. The slope is 2. It's really 2 divided by 1. And what that means is you go up 2, right 1. So from this point I just made, you go up 2, right 1, up 2, right 1, and so on. So you end up getting a graph, a line that looks like this. Okay, and we have successfully graphed the first equation.
Okay, let me just write that. And okay, so negative, I'll put right there, and then -1 right up there. Okay, there we go.
Okay, so we have successfully graphed the first equation. The second equation is a horizontal line.
Okay.
It's a horizontal line, and this is always the case when you have y equals a number. So what it says that y is always -3. So it's a horizontal line at -3. Y is always -3. And a good idea to do, if you have the time, is to actually label each line and make it clear, which one is which.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so you can see that they actually intersect there. I'm going to label it with a blue dot there. They actually intersect right there, and you can see that you go left -1 and then down 3. So it's the ordered pair -1, -3. And if that's not easy to see, I can change the color also.
Okay, let me just, all right, so, okay, so it's y -3, is that right?
Yes, the y value is -3, the x value is -1.
Okay, okay, there we go.
All right, so that concludes the first problem. There's nothing more to do to solve the first problem. The second problem is solved very similarly. Okay, so I'm going to snip in the equations, and then I'm also going to snip in the graph, and we're going to solve the second problem almost identical to the way we solved the first problem here. So when you look at the second equation right here, we need to solve for y. Okay, so to do that, you have to move the 2x to the other side of the equation. You subtract 2x from both sides of the equation. So y equals negative 2x plus.
Okay,
4.
let me just. Okay, got it down.
Great. So now the slope is the number in front of x. What is the number in front of x here?
Okay,
What is the number in front of x?
-2.
That's the slope. The b value is the other number, which is 4.
Yeah.
To graph the line, you start with the b value. So this time you're going to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, right there. Okay.
Okay.
So you go to the b value. The slope, we're actually going to slightly modify. It's -2 divided by 1. And what that means is you go down 2, right 1. So from this point right here, you're going to go down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
if you do this correctly, you should get a nice graph like this. And again, maybe even label it.
Okay. All right. Let me just.
So let me know when you get cut up to that point, because we do have to graph the other equation.
Yeah. Okay, got that down.
Okay, so the first equation is x equals a number. Okay, and if you go back and look at the previous problem we did, it was a y equals a number. When it's a y, that's a horizontal line. But when it's x equals a number, this is a vertical line. So x equals 1 is a vertical line, and it means that x is always 1.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the other line, and you can see where they intersect. They intersect right there where the two lines converge. 1, 2.
Okay, so, okay,
Let me know when you get all that down and we can take a look at the next problem.
oh, wait a minute, is this wait a minute, this is, wait a minute, oh, wait, oh, what, hold on.
Can you,
Oh, okay,
can you
all right,
verbalize
it's
what?
good, it's good, okay.
Okay. Are you ready to move on to question 3?
Okay, so the x is 1, 1, 2.
Yes, they intersect at 1, 2. X is 1 and Y is 2.
Okay, so 1, 2. What's for number 1? Is it
Let's go back and look. Let's go see where they intersected.
oh
Looked
negative
like,
1, 3, right?
yeah, looks like they intersected down here.
Okay, I got it down.
Great. So let's look at question number 3. I'm going to ask for more of your help in solving this one. So the first thing for question number 3 is they give you 2 equations here. They give you, and I'll rewrite them here. They give you 3x plus y equals -3. And then the other equation they gave you is 3x plus y equals 3. What I would like you to do on your paper there is to solve for y. I want you to get y by itself in both equations.
Okay.
And we did this in the previous 2 problems, so it's just the same steps, just different numbers. Is it clear what I'm asking you to do,
Yeah,
Sourish?
yeah. I'm just
Okay.
so solve for y. Well, okay. So what you need to do is add 3 by 3 and 3 to both of them.
Nope, you don't want to do that. You want to
Oh, a negative 3 and 3.
nope. Let me highlight what you're going to need. You need to sorry, let me get this back to where we can see it. You need to move the 3x and then you need to move the 3x. That's what we did in the previous problems, is you have to move it to the other side.
Okay.
If you're not sure what to do, please say so, and I'll go back and show you what we did in the previous
Okay,
problem.
I'm gonna write that down. Okay, I did that.
Okay, so I'm asking you to solve for y. I'm asking you to get rid of the 3x on this first
Okay,
equation.
it's y equals 3.
No, let's go back and look at what you did in the previous problem. Okay, so I'm going to snip in. I'm going to grab the snipping tool. Okay, so in the previous problem, we did this. Let me snip this in down here. Okay, so in the previous problem, we started out with 2x plus y equals 4. What is this line below it? What does this line show right here? What is this?
Negative 2x.
Why would we subtract 2x? Because
It's
me
a
a-
positive 2.
That's right. So back up here, what do you think you should do to the 3x?
What you do to the 3x, you should put a negative.
So we subtracted 2x because there's 2x here. Subtract 3x, subtract 3x.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right, now let's go down and let's look how we wrote it before, because it's the same. It's exactly the same. If you're just copying it down and not thinking about what we did each step, you may not have caught this. So notice what I did down here is I wrote the y. You see that?
Yeah.
And then I put the 2x, I put it in front, and then the 4 is in the back.
Okay.
So you're going to do the same thing here. You're going to bring the y down, and you're going to put the minus 3x in the front and the minus 3 to the right.
Okay. I wrote it down.
Yeah, but did you understand why we did each step? Because that's what matters.
Yeah, we should do the same one at the next one.
Okay, so what about here? What are you going to do on this one on the right?
Put a negative 3x at the bottom.
Okay. So what does y equals this time?
Y equals negative 3x minus 3.
But this is positive.
Negative 3x plus 3.
Plus 3. Very good. Okay. Let me know when you get this down. You definitely need to show your work on this one.
Okay. I wrote it down.
Okay. So I'm just gonna restart the problem here with a clean space, and then we're gonna graph it. So the first equation, this first one became y equals minus 3x minus 3. And then this other equation was y equals minus 3x plus 3. I'm going to snip in the graph, and we're going to graph each of these using the slope and the intercept. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's look at the equation on the left here, the left equation here. What is the slope and what is the b value? What is the slope? What is the b value? So the slope is the number in front of x. What number is in front of x?
Okay. M is okay. M is negative 3 and B is 3.
B is the other number. What is the other
Negative
number?
3.
Negative 3. Very good. So when you graph, you start with the b value. See how I went down 3 for the b value?
Yeah.
Okay, now the slope is really negative 3 divided by 1, which means down 3, right 1. So from this point here, we go down 3 and right 1. But you see how I'm off the grid here?
Yeah.
And that's bad. That's bad. So we don't want to graph things that are off the grid. And this is a little bit more difficult. You have to go backwards. You have to say, well, where would I be? And this is the answer, so that when I go down 3 and right 1, I get to that point. And then similarly, down 3 and right 1. Okay. And that's it's going backwards. I don't expect you to fully understand that, but you can see that there is an issue here graphing this one.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's the issue.
Well, that's the graph of that. We got to graph the other line now.
Okay.
So go ahead and get this graph down, line down, and then we'll look at the next one.
All right. I grabbed it down.
Okay. So for the second equation here, same set of questions. What is the slope? What is the b value? The slope is the number in front of x. The b value is the other number.
Okay. M is negative 3 and B is 3.
Yes. So this time we start at the b value of 3. So we're going to go up here to 3. 1, 2, 3. There's 3. the slope is really -3/1, which means down 3, right 1. So from this point right here, we're going to go down 3, right 1, down 3, right 1.
Okay, all right.
Let me know when you get this graph down.
I got it down.
Okay, so what I've done is I've actually graphed this in Desmos, and it's a cleaner graph here so that you can see how would you describe the lines?
Okay, you describe the lines. So wait, you describe the lines by just you just have to just find the intersection.
Well, that's my next question is, do they intersect?
Well, they
Or
no, they don't intersect.
no, they do not, because they are parallel.
Parallel, yeah.
Parallel lines do not intersect. If they don't intersect, there is no solution.
Okay, let me just write that down. Okay, wrote it down. Okay.
Great. So we're at kind of the halfway point for the night. I'm just curious, do you like the graphs? Do you kind of like doing the visual stuff where you get to see how it looks?
Yeah. Maybe this is gonna be just like very good for me just to be keeping it just to remember the basics for it. Just
So the graphs are one way to solve these problems. The other is to do kind of more of this type of stuff up here. What do you think what do you think is better for you, the pictures or the writing?
the pictures.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that usually is better for students like yourself. Somehow that just makes more sense. Unfortunately, the next grouping of questions are not pictures. They are do them by working out the steps. Okay. So unfortunately, we don't get to do it the way that we've been doing. We actually have to use what is called the substitution method.
Okay.
Do you need a break at all? Should we take 1 or 2 minutes? How are you
Yeah, let's
feeling?
take a break.
Okay, you let me know when you're ready.
Yeah.
Sourish, let me know when you're ready to start back.
Well, we can now start.
All right, sounds good. So the substitution method means you take something from one equation, in this case, the -3, and you put it back into the other, therefore substituting. So I'm going to rewrite the first equation just slightly.
Okay.
I'm going to put y in parentheses, okay? And the reason I'm doing that is whenever you substitute for a number, you generally want to put it in parentheses. So in this case, this -3 is going to go in here for y. So where I wrote y, I'm writing -3. Do you see that?
Okay, so we're now answering at the bottom, number 1, right?
Yes.
Ow. Oh my. Okay. Sounds good to me. Okay.
What method are we using to solve?
The substitution, okay, let me just write it down.
Yes, the substitution method.
Yeah. So yeah, you have to substitute.
Yes. So instead of y, you're going to put the value of -3 in for y, which is what is shown down here in the next line. You have to put that number in for the variable.
Okay. All right, I put that in the okay. So for -3, it's gonna be 3.
That's right. It becomes 2x plus 3 because the two negatives become a positive.
Yep.
And then to solve for x, this is a two-step equation. Okay, you have to first undo addition by 3. How do you undo addition by 3? How do you undo addition by 3?
Yeah, in addition by 3, okay. How do you undo addition by 3?
Yes, I'm asking you, how do you undo plus 3?
You subtract 3.
We're going to subtract 3 from both sides of the equation.
Yep.
2x equals, what is 1 minus 3?
Wait, or 1x plus 3?
Nope, you're subtracting 3 from both sides. There's no x here. It's just 1. What is 1 minus 3?
-2.
Okay, very good. The 2 on the left here, it's multiplying x. So how do you undo multiplication?
Okay, so okay, so now now that is the answer. So that's the answer. Now what we need to do is
It's the answer when x is by itself. 2 is multiplying x. How do you
yeah,
undo
so it is
multiplication?
just 2x
How do you undo multiplication by 2?
dividing.
Divide by 2. So
Yep.
x equals -1.
Okay.
And
It's
then from,
and instead of saying -1, it's a -1.
okay,
Okay.
y is -3.
Okay. Negative, or y equals -3.
The words minus and negative are used interchangeably in math, and you should be comfortable with both.
Okay.
Okay, so let's look at the second equation. Second problem, I'm sorry, second question down there that says by substitution.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I look at this, I see that x is 1, okay? And then I have a second equation here that I'm going to substitute this value of 1 in for x. But what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to rewrite that second equation where I put x in parentheses. Because when I put that 1 in for x, I want to put it inside the parentheses. 2 parentheses 1 plus y equals 4. So again, all I'm doing here is I'm using that second equation, but I'm putting 1 in for x.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So now we're in. Okay. So now I'm just gonna be writing that, and then for dad right there, you should Okay.
So we got to multiply this. What is 2 times 1?
2 times 1 is 2.
Okay, plus y equals 4. This is a one-step equation. That means there's only one math step to solve. How do you undo this 2 right here? Because we really want to get y by itself. So how do you undo 2?
2 plus y equals 4.
That's right. How do you undo this 2 though?
You subtract. You negative.
Subtract 2 from both sides, yeah. So y equals, what is 4 minus 2? It's the value of 2.
2. And there we go. And then for dad, you said, and that's the answer?
Well, we already have the value of x. We know that x is 1. That was given in the first part of the problem. So your answer is x equals 1, y equals 2.
Okay.
All right,
So
let's-
the answer is x equals 1, right?
and y equals 2.
Okay.
You get, if you get all this down, you're
I
in
got
good
all that
shape.
down.
You're in good shape. Okay. All right. So we already did question 3 to some extent. Do you remember how I asked you to solve both equations for y? Do you remember us doing that earlier in the page?
Yeah. So for
Okay.
that right there, so
So let's
3 and 3, okay, maybe that's gonna be very different, right?
so the two equations here, when you solve them for y, are shown on the right here. Okay. And the most common substitution problem you might see is you literally set each box equal to each other. You set thing in the box 1 equal to thing in the box 2. So it's like taking this first one and putting it on the left, minus 3x minus 3. The second one on the right, minus 3x plus 3. You just set them equal to each other.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm going to write it without the box. And this is considered a,
Okay, let me just hold on.
okay.
Okay, I wrote it down.
All right, so now we want to get x by itself. So I'm gonna show you here, we're gonna add 3x to both sides. Okay, and then we're gonna add 3 to both sides. So on the left, you're gonna see that everything cancels.
Okay. Everything cancels, okay.
Which means you just get 0. On the left, you just get 0.
So 0 equals,
Now on the right, not everything cancels. Do you see that? The
yeah.
3x cancels, but 3 plus 3 is,
it's 6.
yes. Now and I'm asking you, is this true?
Is this true?
Does 0 equal 6? That's the question. Does 0 equal 6?
No.
No. So since this is false, that means there is no solution.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. I wrote it down.
All right. The next question we're going to look at is on the back side. I guess these are the same. They want you to graph and then solve it by substitution.
Okay, maybe we did it only on the first one. Maybe the first one is okay. Maybe we'll just have to just do the first full one on the front.
So let's take a look at question 4. Okay. And do you see that look at the first equation here. This one is already solved for y. That's really helpful. It's already solved for y. We're very pleased about that. The second equation, though, is not solved for y.
Okay.
And we want to do that. We want to solve for y because that's the easiest way to graph. It's easiest to graph when you solve for y. Okay, so is the x positive or negative here on the left?
The x positive or negative?
Yes.
Oh, the x positive or negative, that is negative.
So you're saying there's a negative sign in front that we can't see, an invisible ink. See, this negative here goes with the y, but there's nothing in front here. So
Okay,
the
maybe
X,
it's true.
so
True.
the X is positive. So how do you undo positive X?
Positive X, subtract X.
Subtract X. So you get minus Y equals minus X minus 2. And now you divide both equations by minus 1. So you get Y equals X plus 2.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so Y equals X plus 2. This was the second equation. Go back. What was the first equation?
What was the first equation? Y equals X plus 2.
So they're the same. Do you see that?
Yeah.
All right, so how do we graph the equation of a line? We need the slope and we need the b value. What is the number in front of X that is not written?
Okay. So now for that right there, M equals a 1. Because X is just
Yeah.
1.
And
And
b is 2. So we go to 2 and we go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, and so on. All right.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and get this down, and that'll take us probably to the end of our lesson for today. Get a brief word with your dad if he wants it.
Okay. I think we're good.
Yeah, if you want to let your dad know we're all done, if he wants to
All
have
right.
a word, I'm
Dad.
around.
Okay. Thank you, Matthew.
You're welcome.
All right, Dad.
Hello.
Hey, Dr. Kathari, we were able to get through a lot of the worksheet today on graphing. So he's learning how to graph 2 lines, find the intersection point.
Mhm.
And the other method is substitution. So they're kind of in this like unit where you have to figure out which method you want to solve the systems of equations. So you could definitely tell he was struggling with allergies and stuff. So but I do think he understood what we were doing. If he's got time, I'd love to see him try 5 and 6 on his own. He can also use Desmos graphing tool to check his work between now and whenever he's got to submit this. So Sourish, if you're still there, if you got the time tonight, please take a look at those 2 problems. You can graph them on Desmos and it'll give you the nice looking graphs that I actually snipped one in. I think we've used this before together.
Yeah.
But give those a try if you can.
Okay, Sourish.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right then. Thank
All right.
you.
I will
Yeah.
see you guys next week. Hope you have a
Next
great
week,
weekend.
yeah. Yeah, you too. Bye.
Okay, bye now.
Bye.